It's a minute 30, right? Like minus 1. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, 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 no. It's like that, right? Yeah, 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 it looks good. I think this is correct at least.
I'll see you in an hour.
In before I get like the wrong timing. But no. Let me in the main menu. So, in all stunts, we start. It's kind of like somewhat irritating, but we start the run from when we select the Muppet in the stunt. And in some of these stunts,
Do you want dessert?
I gotta set up something here.
Definitely. I thought you weren't hungry. Oh.
What Muppet am I using, by the way?
Oh.
Animal, alright. Oh, wait, alright, hold on, I gotta reset. I gotta load a save, that's right, but this is alright, so I set a long delay. Anyway, I can kind of explain it, I guess. So, in a lot of these levels, when we're on the main menu, there's global cycles running in the background, like depending whether we're, not the main menu, the level menu. When we're sitting there, there's cycles running in the background. It doesn't matter if we're actually like playing in it or if we're sitting there, there's things going on. So we wait a minute 30 because that sets up the perfect cycles for that particular track, and it's like the track that we can best manipulate. All the others we can just start from the start, and there are faster things to get on each of them if you waited, but this is by far the best one to do. What track, yeah. Alright, we should be good now. So I set this up here because when I finish it, I can go down the game menu and just mash, and it'll go straight to the stunt that I want. And then here we can use animal with the sports. So the sports we use for all stunts except the last one. For the same reason the last category, we use the supercharger because that's the handling that we need. So yeah, here we just like wait. There's like literally nothing better to do but to wait.
What is the estimate for this category?
I didn't change the estimate. I can really do that quickly. I think I set it to 10 minutes. So it's 10 minutes. World record is 7:28 at the moment, which I have. But I'm trying to get it to a sub 7:10, and a sub 7:10 is basically means that I get like everything in the run. It's kind of what I've figured out. What you get, my summer best is like a 7:03. But I don't have a run yet with like everything in it because there's a lot of like little jumps and time saves you can do. So I guess I won't be satisfied until I get that sub 7:10. The 7:28 at the moment is okay. Because in the background here you see like there's the level and there's like levers and platforms and all that moving around. So we wait a minute 30 and all of them are in the perfect spot. Yeah. It's the thing, it's a minute 30 and before I get it wrong. Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing. We could change it so you have to start from the main menu. However, then like everyone's runs will be void because people use save states or they just start from whenever. Like they didn't know about manipulation, they just did a casual run and started, you know, from wherever. So we'd have to delete all the runs if we did that, which is like, yeah, not really feasible. Alright, I got the timing wrong. So it wasn't a minute 30 apparently. So I'm just gonna do this casually and then the rest of it will be like proper. Yeah. Kind of like you still do the same tricks. It's just it's literally like these elevators and that would be ready for you when you got there, but it doesn't get rid of any tricks on that. This is kind of trick heavy with like jumps and that. These stunts themselves are kind of like a platform mixed with a racing game. It's definitely more racy than platform, but it's still all about kind of jumping from thing to thing. So here we do an unintended jump to get up to here. Normally you have to use portals to get up here. We can also jump around over this pipe, which we continue to have to use the portals to get over.
It's a very content-rich game.
Yeah, there's a lot to it. There's no story, which is why there isn't like an 80% or anything, but there's just like lots of levels and like adventure to collect everything, and there's like hidden levels and all that. And then there's the fun of like, I say fun, of getting all the vehicles for all the Muppets. So to do that, it's another thing where I was explaining the special move, that comes in relevance, because if you're using a character and use the special move, any character you hit with it, you unlock their vehicle for the character using at the time. So you are able to like unlock every car for every character, but to do it like casually it takes a long time. So then we head to Fun Fair, which is the second stunt. There's kind of two cycles we can get. We can get one of them, which is very hard to get, because there's two platforms that go up and down, and as one's going down, another goes up. And we can try like kind of jump at the right time and get to it. But actually getting the second cycle, which was the standard before this was found, is like usually pretty free. I haven't failed it in like a long time, but there's always a chance. You've kind of got a bit of leeway. Like, I didn't mean to go up that ramp there, but it's fine. We go up in the portal here because this takes us a fair bit down the track, and anything that takes us further along the track is helpful. This is a rather straightforward level, as I said, aside from the end. And there's a series of balloons that come along. There's some that they come in like, I don't know, 6-7 second intervals, and that kind of determines like how well your run is going, I guess. Either you get like the fastest one or you get second fastest one. So yeah, I made the, I guess, standard cycle very easy, but I didn't. Yeah. So we wait here for a second because there's a platform here that when it's up the top, if we boost up the ramp, we'll just slam into it, hit at the ground. So we wait for it. We kind of collect boosts because there's nothing better to do, and boost is always nice. We collect boosts while that's moving around, and when we go just at the time that it's heading down. It also doesn't matter because if we went faster, like the balloon like doesn't speed up, so it's irrelevant.
Why would you drive through a diner?
So now we have the diner. Diner kind of has cycles, but there's these pots that shoot you up with air, and they do turn off, but it's only like for very short amounts of time, so it doesn't feel that punishing to move them. Yeah, these pots in particular. We do an unintended jump here. Usually you're supposed to get boost here, and then use this to get like some way through this section. We can use it to just boost over all this stuff and land over here. Okay, it's usually quite hard to land on the edge of that sink, but I got on it, which is nice. So yeah, once again, this level's kind of, it's another stunt. They usually take a lot longer to finish because, you know, there's intended ways. There's like these stools here, and you're like playing for the first time. You're not really familiar with your buttons and your power, so you fall off them a lot. But yeah, this is by far the most worked on category in this game. Cyberdemon spent like, I don't know, he has like 1,800 attempts or something in this category, and I have like 600 or so. We've spent a lot of time looking into this, while the others are still. Yeah, you'd have to wait. Whatever. But no, that's, yeah, more of a recent thing, so we discover the whole cycles. And we had one for Funfair, which is the level we used to start with, but then we realized you can save like, I don't know, 30-40 seconds in restaurant over starting like when we used to. That's why we do it there now. Of course, it's easier if you're on an emulator because you just use a save state and that's allowed, but, you know, consoles don't have save states yet. Anyway, this is Rooftops. This is, I don't know, I like the soundtrack to this level. It's one of the few spots where you stop to get some fruit because you use it to skip over, like for example, section here, which usually has like vents and ledges and all sorts of stuff you got to go over. It's also relevant because there's a thing called rooftop skip, which I may have enough boost for, but it's quite hard to get. I'll see if I can get it. Oh, it's close, but you can boost from that ramp over there. I'm up the top, and it saves a bit, of course. You have to jump around, but it's yeah. And that's been around for a long time, but it's still quite hard to do. Then we hit to Mountain. Mountain is like the only level that doesn't have any actual real cycles. It's just all about like how fast you can go. It does have a kind of weird zip thing on it, and has a possible proxy you can do. It's fairly recent. It was found by Yoshi Pro, I think. Yeah, Yoshi Pro. I get confused between Yoshi Pro and Yoshi Star, but it's one of those two dudes. But it was found by them, and I'll show off in a sec. And either you can get the boost off a bridge and it'll pull you up, or you can just kind of drive up and drive back onto it. So the bridge I'm talking about is coming up over here, and you'll kind of, I don't know, see which one I get. It's still, as I said, in the early stages of testing. Okay, so I just did the strat where I jump, but sometimes you can like basically give you a proxy up down. So this is a zip I was talking about. If we go to this wall, we kind of like jump up a bit, it will just push us up here for whatever reason, and we can skip all this teleporter section. We can also skip this cannon so by driving over it. We can't skip this one over, so we gotta hop in it and take it across. We also want to save a bit of boost at the end here because there's a water section and water's slow to drive in, so we want to boost through the water. And then from here to the end, it's very straightforward. You kind of just ride the ramps and go through. It's actually a really cool trick you can do in this game on PAL. The problem with PAL is the game runs like at 15 frames or something, and all the tracks at the start aren't unlocked. You have to unlock them. But that track in particular has a very cool skip where if you go to the teleporter section and you reverse as you come out of one, it'll take you to the section up the top, but it won't change the camera. So you can kind of drive blind to the end of the stunt, but it's actually about 10-15 seconds faster than the NTC version, but it's just because everything else is so much slower. Also, I'm knocked up here because I'm commentating, but it's slightly faster. So we want to switch to the supercharger here. There's a magnet cycle we can get, which actually starts as we start the stunt, so doing that didn't ruin it. It's very hard to catch because you kind of have to drive back here, get a squeeze proxy up. So I've already missed it. You get a squeeze proxy up, and there's a magnet just ahead of me you can hop on, but it's like the inputs are like, yeah, it's seriously difficult to do. But this place has like lots of jumps and unintended things we do. That's why we need the supercharger for it, because it can do the tight turns we need. You can also use this if you drive on it well, which I didn't do, to skip this fan section, but once again it's kind of very specific and almost kind of blind. It's the way the camera works. Also coming up here, there's a weird, if you drive past the kind of guardrail up here, it'll proxy you up, and we don't really know why, it just does. Oh, I'm looking at my buttons. If you drive out of this rail here, it'll push you up, so you can jump on top of the pipe here. You know, because why not? And we just have a couple of teleporter features. We jump across here, which isn't intended, but we can just do it anyway. It almost looks like it's intended because it's such a short distance, but you're supposed to go down the back there by the fans, get picked up by some magnets. We're gonna do that. So yeah, then we get to this final section, which is kind of the same section from the all stunts, the all Muppets, and then time is when we cross the finish line, which is there. There you go. So that's Muppets Racemania. It's a good video game. You should all play it. So yeah, all good now.
Yeah, it's less terrible than it.
It's actually made really well. Like, yeah.